Have you ever created an entire scene inside your head? A conversation that never happened, an argument you finally win, a moment where someone understands you, or a future where everything goes exactly the way you wanted. And even though none of it is real, your emotions react like it is. Your chest tightens, your face changes, your mood shifts. You may feel anger, hope, sadness, comfort, or revenge from something that exists only in your imagination. So why does the mind do this? Most of the time, fake scenarios are not random. They are emotional rehearsals. Your brain is trying to complete something that still feels unfinished. Maybe there was a conversation where you stayed quiet. Maybe someone hurt you and you never got the apology. Maybe you wanted to explain yourself, but the words did not come out. So later, when you're alone, your mind reopens the scene. But this time, you're in control. You say the perfect thing. You defend yourself. The other person understands. The ending finally feels fair. And that's why it can become addictive. Not because the scenario is real, but because the feeling is real. Inside your imagination, you control the words, the timing, the reaction, and the ending. And for a mind that feels powerless in real life, that control can feel comforting. But there's a hidden cost. If your mind keeps giving you imaginary closure, you may stop looking for real closure. You may feel like you processed the situation because you replayed it many times, but nothing actually changed. The conversation did not happen. The boundary was not set. The truth was not spoken. The emotion was felt, but not released. This is why fake scenarios can feel satisfying and exhausting at the same time. They give you a small emotional reward, but they keep the wound active. Another common fake scenario is the success fantasy. You imagine becoming admired, respected, successful, attractive, powerful, or finally chosen. You imagine people noticing you, people regretting how they treated you, people realizing they underestimated you. And sometimes this can motivate you, but when the fantasy feels better than the effort, it becomes a trap. Because your brain gets a reward from imagining the result without doing the work. You feel proud without taking the step. You feel recognized without building the skill. You visit your future self in your mind while your real self stays in the same place. Then there are worst-case scenarios. Your mind imagines rejection, failure, embarrassment, conflict, or betrayal before anything happens. You tell yourself, "I'm just preparing." But sometimes preparation is anxiety wearing a useful mask. Your brain thinks that if it imagines the pain first, the pain will hurt later. So it starts rehearsing suffering. And instead of making you safer, it makes you tired. Because now you're not only living your real life, you're emotionally surviving situations that never happened. That's why some people feel exhausted even when they have done nothing physical. Their body was still, but their nervous system was fighting imaginary arguments, imaginary rejection, and imaginary danger. So how do you know if your imagination is helping you or controlling you? Ask yourself one question. After imagining, do I feel clearer or more trapped? Healthy imagination helps you prepare, understand, create, or reflect. Unhealthy imagination pulls you into the same loop, again and again, the same argument, the same fear, the same fantasy, the same imaginary version of yourself. Not because it helps you grow, but because it gives your mind emotional stimulation. And stimulation can become addictive, even when it hurts. So if you imagine fake scenarios often, don't shame yourself. Your mind may be asking for something: control, validation, justice, comfort, escape.
The next time it happens, pause and ask, what am I trying to feel right now? Because once you understand what the fantasy gives you, you can start giving that to yourself in real life. Your imagination is powerful, but it was never meant to replace your life. Real change begins when the conversation leaves your head, when the boundary becomes real, when the dream becomes a step, and when you finally return to your own life.